Today we're going to talk about histograms. Another type of graph that can be used to display data is a histogram. A histogram uses bars to display numerical data that have been organized into equal intervals. Now if you notice, this histogram looks a little bit like a bar graph because it does have bars, except notice that there are no spaces between the bars. And also, because the intervals are equal, all of the bars have the same width. And then any intervals with a frequency of 0, they don't have any bar at all. A histogram gives a better visual display of data than a frequency table. Thus, it is easier to interpret data displayed in a histogram. That just means that looking at a graph, it's a lot easier to answer questions. So what I'd like you to do is take a look at this histogram, answer questions A and B, and then go ahead and play the video to check your answers. Okay, let's see how you did. It says A is how many students are at least 69 inches tall. So that means we want students that are 69 inches tall or more, or taller than that. So we're looking at this bar right here, 69 to 71 inches, and also 72 to 74 inches. There are 30 students in this bar right here, and then there are another 10 in this bar. So 30 plus 10 is 40. So there are 40 students that are at least 69 inches tall. Is it possible to tell the height of the tallest student? You might think that this is an easy question to answer because the greatest height here on the graph is 74. However, there are 10 students that are between 72 and 74 inches tall. It's not possible to say how many of those 10 students are 72 inches, 73 inches, or 74 inches. So the answer is no. It's not possible to tell because we only have a range of heights. We don't have the specific number of students who are 72 inches, 73 inches, or 74 inches. Okay, go ahead and refer to the histogram at the right, pause the video, see if you can answer the questions, and then play the video to check your answers. Okay, question 2A says, how many cities in South Carolina have populations less than 150,000? So that means that we're looking at this bar right here, because it includes cities with populations less than 150,000, but this bar is also populations less than 150,000, and so is this one right here. So we have to add all three together. We have 4, 4, and 2. That makes 10 cities total. Is it possible to find the median population? Well, remember, to find the median, you have to list out all of the data and then find the number that's in the middle. Since we only have intervals here, it's not possible to find one value that is the median. Okay, now that we've answered some questions about histograms, let's go ahead and actually make one ourselves. This frequency table shows certain water park admission costs. Display the data in a histogram. Step 1 is to draw and label a horizontal and vertical axis and include the title. So let's go ahead in your notebook. You're going to draw a Y and X axis. And then we're going to also put labels on these. Remember that the intervals always go on the x-axis, and so that represents the cost. The y-axis is going to represent the frequency. Now, step number 2 says show the intervals from the frequency table on the horizontal axis and an interval of 1 on the vertical axis. Now, here on the x-axis, we have to figure out how many bars we're actually going to have in our graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I would recommend that you do is you kind of place out where you want those 5 bars to go. Remember, they have to be equally spaced, so it's kind of a nice idea to just set it up right now. So the first interval is $8 to $15. The second interval, 16 to 23. Then 24 to 31. 32 through 39, and 40 through 47. Now, for the frequency side, on the y-axis, we have to take a look at our numbers here. So they range from 0 all the way up to 7. So we need to make sure that we include everything from 0 up to 7. Now, 0 is going to be right here down at the bottom. And then let's just count by ones. Okay, step 3, for each cost interval, draw a bar whose height is given by the frequency. So if we look at our table, the $8 to $15 range is 5. So we need to draw a bar at 5. Then the $16 to $23 range is at 7. Then the 24 to 31 range is at 4. 32 to 39 has 0, which means we're not going to make a bar at all. And then the 40 to 47 is up to 2. The only thing that's missing from this histogram is a title. So we just take the title from our chart. Water Park Admission. And there you have your histogram. Okay, now it's your turn. The table shows the number of people in different age groups entering a store during the first hour. Display the data in a histogram. Now I already have the histogram labeled with a title, and I have the X and Y axis labeled. Go ahead and draw this in your notebook, see if you can make all of the bars on your histogram correct, and then push play to check your answer. All right, let's go ahead and make our histogram. It looks like we need to put our intervals on the bottom. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to need to have 7 bars on this x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we go ahead and label those with the ages. So 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49. So the intervals always go on the bottom. Now we go ahead and take a look at our frequency. The frequencies range from 5 is the lowest and 20 is the highest. So I'm going to recommend that we count by 2s on this one. Now maybe you didn't count by 2s, you counted by 1s, and that's okay also. 2, 4, all right, so now it's time to go ahead and draw our bars. So between 0 and 9 years old, there were 5 people. So our bar is going to be about here. 10 to 19, there were 8. Notice that all the bars line up right next to each other, so there's no gaps. 20 to 29 is 14. 30 to 39 is 18. 40 to 49 is 20. 50 to 59 is 13, and 60 to 69 is 6. There you have it. There's your histogram. Nice job.